In a previous panel, we touched upon the belief, the faith statement, within the From Orthodox tradition regarding the existence of a neshama, and that for a period of years, the neshama leaves its world and enters a guf, a body. The time period during which the neshama and the guf are linked is termed the period of OLAM HaBA. The extension of this belief is that after the neshama leaves the guf, the body, the neshama returns back to its source. In the world of Kabbalah, these are one of the three parallel universes, into the world of Gan Eden. Meanwhile, in Olam HaBA, the body dies and is buried. This is just one part of the entire puzzle of Jewish theology. There is also the counterpart to Olam HaBA, and that is Olam HaBA. This is a period in existence that takes place in a period after death, involving the Yemot HaMashiach, along with a Techiyat HaMeitim, and then the ultimate reward, Olam HaBA. There is a debate whether the Olam HaBA involves a return of the neshama into the guf that has been resurrected, or whether Olam HaBA is a totally spiritual experience involving the neshama without the guf. With respect to reward for one's commitment to the fulfillment of the mitzvot, we have the Mishnah in Masechet Peah that informs us that for certain devarim, for certain mitzvot, one is ochel peroteihem ba'olam hazeh. One derives a reward in olam hazeh, the period in which the neshama is attached to the guf. But there's also a benefit, a reward. In fact, the main reward is assigned to the individual in the Olam HaBA period. No textual sources are provided in that Mishnah, and while there are references to a reward offered by HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the fulfillment of mitzvot, such as the statement made in the second paragraph of the Kriyat Shema, the V'haya im Shamoa, Devarim Perek Yud Aleph, where Moshe informs the nation, if they will listen to, take heed to the mitzvot, u'la'avdo b'chol levavachem b'chol nafshechem, serving God with a full commitment, then Moshe, in the name of God, promises an abundance of rain that ultimately will guarantee bumper crops of grain, wine, and oil. Regarding the period following death, beginning with the Yemot HaMashiach and the Techiyat HaMeitim, leading into Olam HaBA, there is no explicit textual source to be found anywhere in the Chamisha Chumshei Torah. For this reason, most Jews outside the From Orthodox, relying upon the guidance provided by secular academics and biblical scholars, reject the concept of a Yemot HaMashiach and an Olam HaBA. Within the From Orthodox, acceptance of an Olam HaBA is a core belief. So critical is that it has been inserted and become part of the opening brachot of the Shmona Esrei, recited 3 times each day for 365 days of the solar year. A belief that, amongst other things, that God is Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, and that God is Somech Noflim and Rofeh Cholim. And alongside these statements about God is the fact that God is Mekayem Emunato Lishenei Hafar. Lishenei Hafar, those who sleep in the dust. In other words, those who have died. God will fulfill the promises of Techiyat HaMeitim, and we end up the bracha in the Shmona Esrei stating that V'ne'emanata lahachiyot meitim. We accept the belief that God is one who is able to accomplish Techiyat HaMeitim. Baruch atah Hashem mechayei HaMeitim. Blessed are you, Hashem, who is and will be a God who will bring the dead back to life in a future time period. A thorough treatment of the topic of Olam HaBA can be found in the Torah Har Tzion website. In an essay penned by Rav Asaf Bednarsh, there is an excellent essay that summarizes a number of viewpoints regarding Olam HaBA. In that essay, the author notes that all Jewish philosophers agree that the ultimate reward for the fulfillment of Torah and mitzvot will take place in Olam HaBA, and as such, why, he asks rhetorically, is this ultimate reward never mentioned explicitly in the Torah? In the essay, he goes on to note that all the major thinkers, ranging from Rav Sadia Gaon all the way through to the Maharal, have raised this issue and offered explanations for this lack of a textual source, and concludes that all the explanations given by the Jewish thinkers agree that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does include a belief in Olam HaBA in the Torah, but for wherever the reason God sees fit, he does so by means of hints and subtle references using the traditional methods of drush, exegetical interpretation, and these hints are scattered throughout the Midrash and the Gemara, such as in Masechet Sanhedrin 91, with respect to Triyat Meitim. Sources. Returning now to the Mishnah Ve'elo Devarim, in the next panel I shall be looking at some of the sources for an OLAM HaBA reward for some of the items mentioned in this Mishnah, beginning with Kibudav Ve'em, and I shall be drawing from the commentary of the Kahati to this Mishnah for that information.